My justice journey actually began when I was a high school student. I'll never forget. It was 1986, and it was a Friday, and all of my friends were going out that night, and I was very excited about getting to go. And I just remember that nobody actually called me for me to go with them. And so I was stuck at home that night with my parents. And so we had our supper, and then we were sitting on the couch in our den, and I was just really upset because all my friends had gone out. They were all having fun, and I was stuck at home on a Friday night with my parents. So I had the remote control and was just flipping through all of the channels. And as I did that, I came across one of the channels that had hungry children. You know, you've probably seen those shows before, you know, Feed the Children, Save the Children, all of those different kinds of shows. These babies in Africa that are very emaciated, but they have these really large bellies. And I just kind of paused on that channel and was watching it. And I just started looking around our house, and I thought, wow, we've got great furniture. We've just had a meal. We've got heat in the house and all these amazing things, walls and a roof and just nice things in our house. So I looked at my parents and I said, Mom and Dad, why don't you support a child? It's only $21 a month. And my mom, it didn't take her 2 seconds to look right back at me, and she said, Libby, why don't you support a child? It's only $21 a month. And that question actually changed the whole paradigm for me because I realized that I could do something about it. So I actually approached my youth director at my church and just said, hey, what would you think about our youth group maybe collecting $21 a month and supporting a child through it? And so he agreed to it. I got to talk to all the youth group about it, and I went with my dad to the bank, and we set up just a little checking account, and I had a checkbook, and every week at church I would just get coins like nickels and dimes and quarters and dollars. And by the end of the month, I had $21. And so I would just write out a check, and it would go to the ministry where we were supporting a child together. And we did that for 3 years. And then after I graduated from high school, I continued to support this child all through high school. But I think the lesson in it for me was that it's not going to take somebody else to get the job done. It's me taking the steps that I need to and actually getting people to help me do it. I mean, as a high school student, I really didn't have $21 a month. But I could collectively gather $21 from other people who are interested. So I think just my mom just asking me that question, what are you going to do about it? It really changed everything for me. And so that's how I see what I'm doing today is what can I do about this problem of human trafficking in the world, modern day slavery, the fact that there are more slaves in the world today than there ever have been in all of history. What is my piece of the pie in it? What I'm passionate about is talking to college students about how they can add their nickels and dimes and quarters of their lives to be a part of the solution to the problem. So I'm really grateful when I think back to that time on that Friday when my friends all went out and I was stuck at home with my parents. It was a time that God used significantly in my life. So